Hey everyone, it's Synth Designer back at it again with another Synthwave Essentials. Today I'm going to discuss a preset from my new Synthwave Essentials Volume 3 preset pack. You could go out and get it for free on my website. Check the description below. Today I want to talk about a really brassy type of sound that you hear in a lot of 80s music, really famous in Europe's Final Countdown, and here's how it sounds. So it has that really chorusy kind of brassy tone to it that you would hear in a lot of 80s music. So why don't we get right into it? So let's start with the two oscillators that we see here. Now usually in a lot of 80s music, you'll see a lot of stock type of wavetables like your squares, your saws. And today I'm using something similar, but I use the basic mini here to start. Now, the basic mini has a lot of different kind of interesting shapes. There are variations on the regular shapes. And I'm using this kind of half saw, half sine, whatever you want to call it here, and then a regular saw. And both of them have a bit of unison voicing. So let's turn that down and see how that would sound. So the tone's the same, but we want that width to it. The envelope section is where we get a lot of the shape to the sound. So rather than just a normal complete sustain sound, I turn the sustain down and turn the decay up. So it kind of gets to a certain point and then falls down. And they're similar in shape, but not quite the same. Because of the brassy tone we kind of want to recreate a little bit of that brass instrument sound. And if you think about brass instruments, they don't have that quick attack. It's not like a immediate clap sound, for example. It's kind of that slight swell to it, right? And you could hear just a little of that in this envelope. It's very short, but it's still noticeable. So let's turn it down all the way. So you could hear just that slight delay in attack there. So let's head over and check out where I link this to. And it's on the filter, and you'll notice the filter isn't quite my usual low pass, high pass. I have it on this flange filter here. It's the flange H6 Plus. I'm not exactly sure what that stands for, not really the point. But what it creates is this interesting resonance to it. So if we turn the resonance down, it kind of accentuates the sound a little bit. And the drive is also way up. Now you'll notice the cutoff as well is on a certain position. If you turn it way up, it loses a lot of that character. So I have it right about in the 10 o'clock position, you could call it. And I find that gives us the most character. It gets very strange and phasey kind of sounding when you lower it. So let's keep it right around there. And then we have this filter variation here as well. And I actually have it going downwards here. So the envelope is attached, but it starts lower and then it turns up higher. Now heading over to the effects, we notice that there's the hyper, chorus, delay, and reverb. Also, there's a little bit of EQ. The EQ is just meant to filter out some of the highs here. It gets very, very bright, so I just wanted to tone it down just a little bit. The main drivers of the sound here are the hyper and the chorus. Now the hyper gives a little bit more width to it, and so does the chorus, and that's really important for that brassy type of tone. we want maximum type of width to it. Let's turn them off and see how it sounds. And then back on. And the great thing about this sound is you could really use it in a lot of different ways. It's a pad, but it could work as a bit of a lead. It could you could turn up the chorus even, or the hyper, and you see that has a completely different character, more ambient type of sound to it. And the delay and the reverb, of course, are kind of to taste. I have them pretty low in the mix, not too much. I would probably replace them anyway, but just to give the character of the sound here. Very dry without them. So the really important aspect of this sound is really the filter. The filter is really what gives the sound its character. If we were to turn it off, still sounds nice, but doesn't have that bite to it. So anytime you want really brassy sounds, you have to remember a few things. First is chorus gives you a lot of brassy type of metallic type of sounds. The hyper helps as well. You want something as close to a saw wave as possible. So saw waves are great, but play around with different types of things. The basic mini is a great shape here. You'll find a lot of different variations on saw waves as well. So play around with it and see what you can figure out as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.